It's good to meet you after all this time.
Yes, welcome.
Right. Yes, all right. So I'm really happy to meet you here in Lund. So you're going to tell me about some runestones today?
Some cool runestones.
All right, let's hear about it. Chances are you've heard of this place, where reasonably priced DIY furniture came to be. Abba was formed, and sour herring is a pleasant national dish. I'm here to learn the ways of the Vikings from the people who still embody their essence. Together with experts about Viking fighting techniques, drinking culture, and Norse mythology, my days in Scandinavia will be my initiation into the ways of the Viking.
Greetings.
The first person to introduce me to the Viking ways is Lars Magnar Enoksen, a man who's keeping Viking culture alive through teaching Glima and surrounding himself with the Viking spirit. He is, in fact, a modern Viking.
Free grappling, preparing for battlefield. All the animals you have on the runestones, it's a mythical animal. You know, we have a lot of wolves and not dragons, we have lindorms. It starts here, so it goes around here.
What's the significance in Viking culture for a runestone like this?
They would say something. So if we talk about the Viking code in the sense, you know, what was important, in the runestones they're mentioning all those values if the person was brave warriors, for instance, because to flee from a battle was not within the Viking code, you know, you were not supposed to do that. And that is also the reason why the Vikings were so good fighters, because everybody had to train. And later I will show you, you know, the basics of Glima, you know, that is also related.
And that'll be related to the bravery and developing those basic warriors.
Yeah, and yes, and also to survive. In the society we have the blood revenge. If somebody in your family kills someone, you're allowed to take out anybody else over 12 years old. You know, your fighting style. I will not, of course, attack you like this, because, you know, I'm open. Now we have the same grip. So now I will, you see, you hold it. No, you just hold, yeah, have it like that. And you see, no, so you see, now it is broken. Yeah? And then you let go and take the same grip. We are learning some techniques, you know. So now, you know, when you approach me, you know, I have to, I have to stop you. And then I will take, yeah, and then we continue, yeah, like that. Okay, so one more time. Yes, like that. Yeah, move. When I do it, I'm relaxed, so you don't know how strong I am. You feel that, you know. So when we are doing it, you know, since I'm relaxed, yes, so when you also do it relaxed, I cannot analyze how strong you are. Defend? Yeah. Then my defense should be that I just go over. Yeah. Don't let go until I'm there. Yeah. Take that. Oh, sorry. What? Yeah. Okay. So here I will also teach you some principles of the tripping. But the idea is, you know, so if you take it on me, you know, the idea is to first try to go out. Okay. You know. But you see, if you take it, I'm up. And if I go like this, I am up in the air too long time. So you see, yes, like that. When you do that, that doesn't work. I will jump forward with that. So here I go like that.
So you hop in first with this and then go like that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, like that. And relax now. Relax. And you're supposed to throw me to that. So you lift that leg.
This one?
Yeah, like that.
It is apparent that for the Vikings, fighting was a part of everyday life.
You always work from a normal stance.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so hey.
Oh, hey.
Your defense position is very good, you know, because you're straight and having the other relaxed. So we must be able to react, you know, when if somebody, you know, just attack us.
As fleeing a fight was the biggest sin one could commit in the Viking world, it is a basic form. Glima is simple, a practical art. It's a tool of survival.
Yeah. You don't have to be there, you know, just relax, you know, you're there.
and you go there.
As the lesson went on, it became apparent to me that the art of Glima is not just in the movements itself. Hidden behind the stiff grappling, close contact, and grunting is a constant mind game between you and your opponents.
All right. Full point. Full point.
Though Glima existed mostly as a training tool, for the Vikings, war and battle were considered the epitome of existence. The Vikings believed that the 8 realms which make up the known universe were all branches of Yggdrasil, a giant tree. At the top of the tree was Asgard, and within it, the gods. And on Asgard, there was a special place of honor, reserved for the best Viking fighters who died in battle, a place called Valhalla. When reaching Valhalla, the legendary fighters did not receive an eternity of peace and quiet. Rather, the bravest Vikings will continue to train for an inevitable war, which will eventually decide the fate of the universe. Yeah, after dying the most honorable death, the Vikings' reward for dying in battle is more training. Still, there must be more. How could they keep dominating in battles across unknown parts of the world? What was the technology or fighting strategy which drove the Vikings' war philosophy?
Vikings were a very, very critical warrior group in history. They're the only warriors that have a time period named after them, the Viking Age. No other warrior has their own time period. Now, even though the Viking Age stopped, I like to think that the Vikings didn't.
What makes the Viking sword significant?
Viking swords were very light. As you can see, it's very nimble. The technique with the Viking sword is you would put it in your hand and you would sort of leave the index finger loose. That pressure allows you to move the weapon very nimbly, and you're able to use it quickly. So it was the speed and the sharpness that got people. So when you think of combat, you would think that I would slice you from here down to here, and your intestines would fall out and you would die on the battlefield. That's not how most battles were won. It was the simple short tap to the ankle, shoulder, your wrist, and you were pulled out of the battle because you were wounded.
And then you also pull out the guys that need to take care of his wounded comrade.
That's modern military talk. You don't need a bullet that kills. You need a bullet that wounds, like the 5.56. Same with the sword. Thing about Viking swords is that they're very bendable. The steel is extremely durable, and it would not deform. You could not do this with a katana, and it would be hard to do with a long sword, a British longsword. So I'm not flexing this all the way, but the steel from the Viking Age is it's still hard to reproduce it today. It was so advanced. And the thing about the sword and the shield, I heard, funnily enough, someone critiqued the Viking shield because it was just made of wood, except for the boss, as we call it, and it was too fragile. So as you can see here, a lot of blades have been sunk into this. That's sort of the point. If a Saxon sword got stuck in this, and I would yank my shield like this, either he would let go of his sword or the sword would break. They were not supposed to withstand every attack, but they were supposed to either absorb it or deflect it. Instead of standing like this with a shield, some people might think that's the thing, you would stand like this.
All right, there we go.
Now, what we train is we never train any blocks. It sounds stupid, it's a shield. Shield blocks. But that does not mean that it is a defensive thing, it's a weapon. This as well as this. Use this to block, and you use this to attack. If you come with a very, very slow, over-the-top hit, instead of blocking that, I am intercepting it. Imagine that lower.
Oh yeah, my
fingers.
hand.
Yeah. You don't have a guard for your fingers. Not very many medieval weapons did. Now, what's funny is you got your shoulders and your hips. Those are basically the things that move when you're fighting. The stances and techniques work with firearms as well, which is why the Norwegian military trains their close quarters with the closed stance. So if we make a stance from someone who's very young and they can use that through their life, then they don't have to change the way they think when they get a new tool in their hand.
The Vikings' reach was from as far as the north of Africa and as far east as Russia. through the Mediterranean to Constantinople, and to the Middle East. They even reached North America to present-day Newfoundland, Canada.
If the Viking Age didn't end, then the Vikings would be around us right now with firearms. That would be the Vikings, because they adapted. They brought the technology with them. They would have used bows like this throughout the Viking Age, but when they traveled out to Turkey and different parts of the world along the coast, they would pick up other bows.
While other so-called empires were driven by divine ambitions to spread the truth, by ethnic pride or a single conqueror's dream of world dominance, my understanding is that what united the Vikings as they ventured to the world seems to have been nothing more than the Viking ways themselves.
They have found Mongolian and Turkish style recurve bows made of composite materials in Danish Viking graves. If they found something that worked better, they would use it.
It was about each Viking clan's search for the next great challenge. Now it makes sense. The search for Valhalla. What greater challenge could there be to a Viking than fighting for the survival of the universe amongst the finest warriors the world has ever seen? All right, it's good to finally come back. Went out to Denmark and up to Norway and did a couple different things. Also got the tattoo done.
And you don't have any pain in the muscles?
From you beating me up? I've recovered.
You have recovered.
It's mostly the emotional scars that remain.
The emotional,
so those don't heal.
But I thought I was handling gentle.
You were being gentle? Yeah. That was you gentle? Oh
Yeah.
man, all right. One of the things that I think is interesting, going to a lot of different countries with very different cultures and training in their local martial art, you see overlap that goes across I'm doing Muay Thai, and it's like now we're here doing this other thing that's not striking, it's totally different, and like half of it is like, oh wow, that's exactly what we do in Muay Thai, and then the other half is like completely different, and they would never tell you to do it that way. So like Glima, what I liked about it was it tries to be very functional and like to the point, and it seemed like Glima had a lot of similarities and overlap. If I had to pick anything that I've ever sort of trained in that has some overlap with it, I would probably say Krav Maga, because it's built for combat, it's built to get to the point.
Yeah, and they also have something about awareness. Where are you? You know, where is it? And it's that awareness that it's not just a training hall, you know, that you are in this ring, you can make a mistake and then it's over.
Enough talk, let's eat. As a cook specializing in Italian cuisine, I can't say I've heard that much about Viking, or even in this case, Swedish cuisine.
I don't know how Viking you are, but you know, do you eat it, you know, raw meat? Tartar?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that is the best. Yeah.
All right, so then which one is it?
That is husets klassiska raw beef.
The first dish was a bit similar to beef tartare, topped with cheese and served with an assortment of customizable sides and sauces. The raw egg yolk and pickled onion remind me a little bit of Korean yukwae, but of course there's a twist. What is this?
Ooh, this is akvavit line akvavit. It has they have made it. Put it on a ship in Norway. Mm-hmm. Send it across the equator. Then get back, and then we drink it.
Scone. Next, the gravy on meatballs with a particularly fatty piece of bacon. If something works, why change it?
We call it rimmarfläsk.
Rimmarfläsk.
Yeah.
That means flesh of the pig.
Yeah.
I've had potato, I've had bacon before, but the gravy is particularly unique.
Yeah.
A little more line aquavit for dessert.
Stop. Wait.
But this is not the only drink the Swedes are known for.
This is, you know, made by a great mead maker, Björn. That is why it's called Mjödbjörn. And I think that is an indication that it's great. And it says 22nd June 2011.
Do you know how long you need to age the mead for it to be like, this is mead?
When you talk about mead, most people drink it too early.
Okay.
Because they drink it after 2 months when it's ready. That is too early.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you can drink it 6 months. That is okay, but it's still young. But if you wait 1 year, it suddenly gets much better, and then most mead will be emptied because there is nobody who has the strength to withhold. So it's either guts, Valhalla, but it can also be ruined. You know, you take that risk.
Skål!
It is perfection. Yeah. I hope that you feel that this is really good.
This is easily the best one.
This is extremely good.
Yes.
Traditional mead has the taste of light wine, but with a sweet edge of honey. This specific mead has the great quality I would describe as smoothness. As an independent manufacturer of this Lyxmjöd, which is Swedish for luxury mead, Bjorn had to strike deals with multiple beekeepers, then experiment to keep the perfect balance to create this unique taste. Not to mention, he needed to keep the mead for over 11 years.
This is Valhalla. This is normal Halla.
Valhalla is like the highest afterlife for words, but there's other halls, right? Like you die of old age, you go to like a lesser hall.
I mean, you go to the worst hole. The Valkyrie is a woman.
Okay, that's good. That's a good start.
Yeah. So she chooses the best fighters. So it's the best fighters that goes to Valhalla.
Okay, so there are chicks there.
We don't call them chicks because they're goddesses. If you were there, you have to go on your knees. Go. Do you want to hear the meat color?
After spending time with Lars, fighting, grunting, eating and drinking like a modern-day Viking, I could say that I understand the basics of Glima and the unique flexible approach of Viking strategic warfare. The Vikings represent Europe's last few legacies of where physical toughness and a strong relationship with nature was the key to thriving. Though the Vikings reign large in our collective memory as a symbol of violent destruction, to me, they are in a deeper sense a different way of understanding ourselves as humans on this earth.
Skål!
Skål!
Wait!
Skål!